Kunal is a coward because he never dare open his mouth against the DMK when it arrests YouTubers because they conduct a quote-unquote controversial interview. Kunal is a coward because he never dare open his mouth against the Congress when a man is arrested for merely calling a politician penguin. Against the TMC when a professor is arrested for sharing a Mamata cartoon and acquitted after 11 years. Against the CPIM when 120 people are booked for social media posts. Rahul, look, good evening. Like you, I completely and wholeheartedly condemn the violence that erupted and the vandalism. It has absolutely no place in a democracy. But that's not debate out here. The debate is at two levels, and please give me a couple of minutes because both are very important. Let me be unequivocal. Kunal Kamra is a coward and a psychopath, to borrow the phrase that was used by his master once. But in going after him and arresting him, all what the state would be doing is to become another Kunal Kamra. The state is better than that. Democracy should always be better than its delinquents. In Kamra versus state, as I said, there are two entities, both merit going into. First, Kunal. I said Kunal is a coward because a stand-up who should be standing up for the rights and free speech of citizens is right now lying low in a state that arrests dissenters, activists, journalists, publishers at the drop of a hat. Kunal is a coward because he never dare open his mouth against the DMK when it arrests YouTubers because they conduct a quote-unquote controversial interview. Kunal is a coward because he never dare open his mouth against the Congress when a man is arrested for merely calling a politician penguin. Against the TMC when a professor is arrested for sharing a Mamata cartoon and acquitted after 11 years. Against the CPIM when 120 people are booked for social media posts criticizing the chief minister. Against AAP when journalists are arrested for stories highlighting corruption. Wrecked by guilt, these hypocrites go after anyone who exposes them and their kings and queens, exposes them for what they are. Hunchbacks who cover at the mere mention of sheesh mahal or liquor scam or of this incestuous armchair socialist activist club that throws some crumbs at them for a few woofs. So according to these rent-a-penny actor activists and stand-ups who say they speak truth to power, only Modi is in power. Kejriwal and Mamata and Stalin and Vijayan are not. Only Hinduism is to be criticized. Islam is not. Kamra is a psychopath because he enjoys the suffering of others at the hands of the state, even as he wants them to protest against his suffering at the hands of the state. Kamra is a psychopath because he enjoyed the chasing of Nupur for merely quoting Islamic books. He's a psychopath because he not stand up for Kangana Ranaut when the might of the state bulldozed her property as a response to her innocuous statement. Kamra actually mocked her suffering, took sadistic pleasure at the state's illegal barbarity, boasting that he enjoyed watching the bulldozing. Rahul, they who swing happily from the coattails of AAP and DMK and Congress and TMC leaders demanding FIRs on everyone they claim abuses, Kejriwal or Rahul Gandhi or Mamata, know in their hearts that if an FIR were to be registered by the BJP every time these guys abuse Modi, we'd run out of trees to make enough paper to write the FIRs down. Rahul, we have stand-up comics who can't stand up anymore. We have activists who can't shout anymore. We have journalists who can't write anymore about the death of democracy in non-BJP states. Now, very briefly to the other point of the state. The state must not become Kamra. Kamra, who is now foolishly brandishing a copy of the constitution like Rahul Gandhi, doesn't even know that the first amendment of it brought by the dictator Nehru is what is responsible for curbing free speech in this country. The reality is that we don't have a constitution that respects dissent. We have laws and articles and amendments that rather than protect the rights of the dissenter, protect those who violate his rights. Everything is grey. Everything is subject to something. Everything is primed for offending religious sensibilities. If I am not in jail right now, Rahul, it is because the state has decided that I need not be jailed. We need to change this. The state needs to protect Kunals and not go after them, even if they are cowards and psychopaths and as funny as an unaccounted fart in an elevator.